أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. During our discussion on the subject Leave a Legacy, last time we had left the discussion at the point of living in the present. This was the last slide. So I'll start from that last slide so that we can reconnect, recollect, and we proceed further. A primary challenge of human beings, and particularly today, as I had emphasized last time also, particularly of Muslims today in the world, is that we are not living in the present. So this is the basic and the primary challenge of any human society, particularly who claim to be to belong to a particular civilization, that whether they are living in the present or not. Making choices about the present is not just sleeping and waking up in the present. It is making choices from the present to face the present challenges. So what does that mean? Making choices, solving the issues of the present, taking decisions about the present, though one may have a very brilliant past, but still the future has its own challenges, and that future challenges have to be made also in the present, But with the awareness of an uncertain future, this is very important to understand uncertain future, particularly Muslims today. They think that this is our destiny, this is our kismat, this is our taqdeer. It is already certain that we are doomed. It is certain that we will live in this state of disgrace. We can't do anything. This is a challenge, and it is certain that this will happen. This is going to happen. The doomsday will come, and we are waiting for some Mahdi. Some people are waiting for Mahdi. Some people are waiting for Christ. Some people are waiting for some Masih. Some people waiting for somebody. That he will come, and according to their determined destiny, after living through this disgraceful period of thousands of years, somebody will appear at the end of time just for a brief period and then restore peace, and then he will also go. Then the entire world will also go. Only we are certain only about that thing. But actually, we have to understand that in the world of cause and effect, we are dealing with a situation of uncertainty, and uncertainty has to be dealt with. This is a challenge by making choices so that you can change the situation, you can mold the situation, you can amend it according to your wishes, what you want, according and within, of course, the capabilities, capacities which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, and also the environment and the resources which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given. The choices have to be made to convert that uncertainty. In physics also, you might have read about the theory of uncertainty. When this universe was created, when the singularity, there was a big bang in the singularity. At that time, all scientists agree only on one point, that there was uncertainty. What type of matter will be formed? There was the initial starting, the biggest clash in the universe, that was the clash between the formation of matter and antimatter. And ultimately, matter prevailed over antimatter, and this is what we find, that this is the universe made of matter, although the antimatter still exists, some of it. But prevailed. Matter prevailed to form this type of universe. So that is the theory of uncertainty, and we have to understand it, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created a world of cause and effect. And awareness of own mortality in this situation of uncertainty, Even Adam was worried. Hawa was worried. As the theory goes, they wanted to be immortals. They wanted to be immortals. And it was on this point, the starting point, that the Satan lured them, and they wanted to be immortal. Awareness of our own mortality, it is a blessing that we know that tomorrow I will die. We have a faith. So I have a given time. I have given resources. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Adam that I have placed a specific quantity, type, kinds, classes of everything which will suffice you, Maish. They will suffice you till the last day of judgment, till the Qiyamah, till that Saat, they will continue. And within that time, all human beings have to give their results. Awareness of our own mortality, but life is full of opportunities. Now, at this point, we have to understand right from singularity, breaking up of the singularity, Big Bang, that in a situation of uncertainty, there was one thing certain that the universe is going to make. The calculations, the mathematics, universe is written in mathematics, and mathematics gives rise to physics, and then from this initial science of physics, then the physical chemistry, all types of chemistries, and biology, and biotic life, and everything will emerge. This was certain. The world of cause and effect is certain that it will give its own results. We have to make important decisions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made decision. He doesn't leave anything only to Shah, only to intention, only to wishes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that initially, yes, I have Shah. Everything before creation, every shay before creation is in the Shah. It is an intention. And then, Vaiza kada amran, when I finalize it, I take decision. This Shah, then according to the decision, becomes a Shay. So you have to take a decision. Don't leave it as Shah. We have a lot of Shah. We have a lot of intention. We have a lot of good intentions. Palestinians should conquer. The Muslims should live a very good life. We have a lot of intentions, good intentions. Humanity should prosper. There should be peace on the earth. But let us introspect within our own selves, within our communities, within our own institutions. Are we working for that? Have you taken any decision to work for that? What are we doing? We have left everything at the Shah, at the level of Shah. Vaiza Kadamran, who will do that? The decisions are being taken by those who have the power, who have created the power, who wield the power, who have acquired that power. Since last 1500s, we are living at least 1,000 years. We are living a disgraceful life. So we have to make important decisions with limited information. وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. The information in any situation will always remain limited. The information will never be enough, because we cannot have command on every type of information which we require. Some of the decisions will have to be taken, which we call tawakkal. Tawakkal is not just blind decision. You have done your utmost. You have all the information which you could gather. You have sifted it well. You provided the input through your qalb and your sama and basar to your fawad. The fawad had processed it. It has passed down to the qalb. The qalb has shuffled the information, made proper presentations for your sadr. The sadr takes the decision. That is the center of intelligence, emotional intelligence. You take the decision. Vaiza kada amran. Then the limited information, with this limited information, even with this limited information, you are going to win if you take the right decision. Fundamental indeterminacy. I have highlighted this indeterminacy of future. Nobody can be very certain and determinate that the future is determined, is a determined factor. It is not. It can never be. It will change the next moment because there are innumerable variables which are not within my control, and even if all us join hands together, it's not within our control. But what is within our control is that the limited information in the given time, which we have got through ulum, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, all the packages of information have been given. We have sifted, we have sorted out, and then we have taken a decision. This is the only responsibility we have to fulfill. Result is with God. Future we don't know. But we have made our effort to convert this indeterminacy into a determined, through the determined decision, into a determined, known, calculated, as Shams will Qamar Usman. They are with calculation. We have done our job. Sun and moon, they are doing their job. Even they don't know when they are going to collapse. Nobody knows the Sa'at. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says they are asking you questions. Here's the Prophet. They are asking you questions, but they don't know. You also don't know. The time, the Sa'at, I know only myself. It will come. Even for the sun and the moon who are going through the determined orbit, Behuswanin, still they don't know what is the Sa'at. Ash-Shamsu tajri li mustaqanin laha. It is moving towards that determined position in Alpha Lyrae. Now scientists say it's moving towards Alpha Lyrae, but still the sun doesn't know what is exactly the south and the point. But it is still it is working. So we have to work. This is the essential quality of human experience, human life, not only life but human experience. I'm living. I may be living without an experience, like a cabbage, paralytic person. Dr. Stephen Hawking was paralyzed completely, totally, absolutely, except the blink of an eye when the brain was functioning. That's the only thing. He could not move his limbs, but still his experience dominated the process, the biological process, the physical process, the truth of life, that it can be like a cabbage. He still took decisions, went to the 0 point gravity in the space. So here I use the word experience, not life only. Human life, not only life, but human experience, what I have done, what I have experienced, what I have felt, what I have done, what decision I have taken. Today I'm emphasizing through this slide on the point, Vaiza Kada Amran. It's not only Shah. When you take the decision, how you take the decision, utilize all what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given. Allama al-Adama asma'a kullaha. Kulliyatan, the mufassil in every detail, kulliya of every information package. Ism is information package, which gives you information about time, about space, about person, about attributes, about everything. That is ism. Is a package of information, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only provided the package of information, but all the kulliya, every detail, every tafsil, everything in the root has been provided. We may never know exactly what's in the store for us, yet we still have to try to live good and meaningful life, not just living. Experiencing life, taking a decision, right decision. People have challenges. In spite of that, they are living good life. Did you see Stephen Hawking any time unshaved? The person he had not taken bath, he had not washed himself, he was not maintained. There was anything which was repulsive in his personality, that he has not taken bath, he has not changed clothes. He was not only living, he was experiencing life. He experienced even zero gravity. Ya mashar al jinn wal ins, both of them, Ya ayyuhas sakalan, those who are subject to gravity. Among the 8 billion people, about 8 billion people living today, and billions of people who have lived earlier also. Among those people, Stephen Hawking is an example, perhaps the only example, that in that physical state, he himself not only lived, but he experienced the zero gravity. Ya ayyuha sakalan. He accepted the challenge, he accepted the call from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, there is gravity. Ya ayyuha sakalan. Jinn and the ants, so who are subject to gravity. Even energy is subject to gravity. Malaika, they are subject to gravity. Jinn are subject to gravity. And he wanted to experience himself, how it works on my body. No one can survive living simply from moment to moment, denying future. This is the starting point for making a right decision for legacy, on legacy. I can't live from moment to moment. I have to live for the future. Today I'm working to get my salary after a week, after a fortnight, after a month. I'm living for the future. Today I'm living, working hard, toiling, so that my children can survive, they can live. We are not living, don't live only from moment to moment. And legacy is the driving force. Last time also I emphasized. It is the driving force. It is not only wishing, it is not only desire, it requires effort. When the intention becomes desire and the desire requires effort, it becomes kinetic. There has to be a periodic rhythm. Body has a periodic rhythm. Surah Kahf tells us. We didn't explore. Two professors working in two different universities, Professor Kanopka and Professor Michael Young, in two different universities conducting different researches. But when their researches were published, they were combined. I've quoted in my book, both of them. They have shown that there is a circadian calendar within any living body, and there is a rhythm. And they found that if some human being lives in a cave where the sun ray does not reach, the radiation does not reach, it moves Shimal and Junub. It was deflecting, it was flipping, the flip of time. And the sonic wave does not reach the ear, human brain. The body, the circadian calendar will change. Outside, it will have more than 300 years, and inside, it was just a moment. This is science which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling. This is Surah Kahf. There is a periodic rhythm in our circadian calendar, circadian rhythm within our body, and a connection to something bigger. It is not in vacuum. People, those persons in Kahf, they were connected to God. They were connected to cosmos. They were connected to sun. They were connected to the environment. The person who died in Jerusalem, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that here the time, the chronons of time in the same point, at the same point, they were streaming separately. The person died, he remained there for 100 years, and still he got up with the same body. Whereas the donkey, which died, it lost all its flesh, only the bones, the skeleton was there, and the food was still fresh. It was still smelling good. 3 streams of chronons. Now the science tells us that gravity is made of gravitons, light is made of photons, time is made of chronons. So there were 3 streams going at the same time. There was a flip of time in the car, but here there is a streaming of time. Now there has to be a seasonal rhythm and a generational connection. Again, legacy. My connection with the future, I'm creating it I am tightening its nuts and bolts through my legacy to connect with the future generation. I am the linchpin between the past which I got from my forefathers, and now I'm connecting with those through those axles and the nuts and bolts with the future, my generation. It has to be intergenerational. And when you have to understand intergenerational, what is the problem with our legacy? The poverty, particularly in the Muslim world, is intergenerational. There are different types of poverty which we are suffering today. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that abject poverty is a sin. It is a crime. And we have accepted it as our kismat, as our taqdeer. We are not taking decision. It is intergenerational because we are wasting our resources, the present resources. We have lots of mountains. We have lots of treasures under the earth. Khilafat Usmania couldn't explore, couldn't know, couldn't understand what is under the sands of Arabian Peninsula. Today we don't know what is under the mountains of Gilgit, Baltistan, Balochistan, Afghanistan, but others know. Intergenerational connection. If we don't leave a legacy, my next generation will be poor. The economic cycle is such that if there is no legacy left, if I don't leave anything for my children will have to toil. They will have to work very hard. They will have to face all these situations. But if I leave a tarka, we are discussing three things: wasiyat, virsa, and tarka. These three things from Quran. We already started discussion with Quran. We'll again come back to Quran. These three things as components of legacy. And here, nowadays, during a couple of weeks, we are discussing the philosophy of legacy. That why the legacy is important. These are the points that is important. We have to recognize and welcome whole of life, not in bits and bits, my own life, whole of life. We have to take account of whole life. How the evolution took place, we don't know. Those who understand evolution, those who understand how during this process of evolution, the evolution of emotional intelligence took place, they are getting a suit. But we don't know. Right from the beginning, it's a whole of life and see it in the context of greater whole, greater good, greater whole, greater whole in the context of greater good, khairan kasira. And how this khairan kasira comes? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us. It comes through hikmah. And how the hikmah comes? I will finish the discussion today at that point on khairan kasira. I think I have about a couple of minutes like more. Work for greater good, work for khairan kasira. Community is vital. It starts with the building block of family. In any civilization, and particularly in the Islamic concept, it starts with family. Ibrahim alayhi salam was a patriarch. He was head of the family. He was father of many. Patriarchy is family based. Today, LGBTQ, look at the charter which was passed by 200, not just participants, 200 delegates, not just delegates, but the leaders. 200 leaders at the time after the 1960 event in New York. They resolved one thing. We cannot destroy. We cannot create space for LGBTQ unless we destroy family. And we cannot destroy family unless we create absolute equality between men and women. Unless we break all the boundaries of gender. And for doing all this, we need one thing, that is to break the patriarchy. of the family. Patriarchy of the family is the umbrella. It is the shade. It is the arsh. It is the arsh of the family. The patriarch is the arsh of the family, which is holding the seven heavens. That we have to break. And they attacked guardianship. They attacked the Wali institution of Wali. In Japan, one of the reasons which is given for the economic development in Japan, and one of the reasons of one of the best social systems in Japan, in 1870, through a civil code, through a law which is still there, they protected their family institution in the law. In the law, they provided for the institution of Wali, guardian, patriarch, and that system is supporting the economic system. The labor union, the labor relationship with the employer is based on that model of patriarchy. It's not patriarchy, but based on the model of patriarchy. But here, this has been demolished. We can discuss it separately sometime. Now, community is vital, not in isolation. LGBTQ has established community without family. We must understand these small, very refined, very fine particles which compose LGBTQ. LGBTQ is based directly on the community, not through the family. The families don't come together to make a community. They directly belong to the community. Kindly study this point. I've written this in my book recently, which is published on LGBTQ. Now, remembering and reminding the past, the community taking pride in its institutions, institution of patriarchy, institution of vilayat, institution of family, institution of relationship, institution of inheritance, and fulfilling responsibilities to the future. Tarka, virasat, wasiyat. These three things in the beginning I had said. Sharing inheritance is not without responsibility. Unfortunately, we have simply made it a right. I have a right to inherit from my father, but I don't inherit the responsibilities. Kindly open Black's Dictionary of Law or any dictionary of law and see what is the definition of right. There cannot be a right without responsibility. There cannot be any concept of a right without responsibility. But there can be responsibility without a right. And I won this case on this point before Islamabad High Court. There can be responsibility without a right, but right cannot be without responsibility. Here we inherit without responsibility for my mother, for the other orphan grandchildren of my father, without responsibility. The inheritance, the quantum where it is defined on the basis of gender, zakar wal unsa. But actual distribution is mentioned on the basis of relationship, walidan, sisters, brothers, and then their qualification. Don't say even off to your mother, to your father when they grow old. Be good to them. If the mother complains in the court that my son is not giving me any, although he has enough, he is not giving me for my medicine, for my food, one-time food, is that son entitled to get inheritance? Even Islamic jurisprudence has ruled that if the son has committed a crime against his father or mother, he is not entitled to inheritance. But we have left it to the person who is the strongest in the family and the most criminal. We don't go for probate. That is the weakest point in our system. Some people, I've highlighted, only some people highlighted, like Native Americans. I'll finish with this. Next time, inshallah, we'll start from here. Recognize the value of maintaining adult, older adults, old people, old people. In Japan, even 5 generations are living together under one roof. And here, we are so much dominated by are influenced by the concepts in the West that we are throwing away our old people, father, mother. But you go, the studies have been carried out in America. The native people, they still maintain the tradition. They live with their old people. In Japan, yes, they live with their old people. They are not influenced by the negative influences of the West. Recognize value of maintaining, emphasizing maintaining old adults, ensuring their participation, not just giving them food and clothing. How many of us, when we bring our children to Maryam Masjid, particularly on Fridays, on holidays, do we bring how many of us also bring the old people, father and mother? 24 hours you are lying on the bed and becoming weaker and weaker. Why don't we bring them with us? I had proposed, just make one room here. On Saturdays, on Sundays, on Fridays, when you bring your children, don't come separately, especially for your old people. Come for your children. They may attend in other classes or other places. Let those old people, bring those old people also in your family. Let them sit together in that common community place. Have a chat. Or we can have, I had offered my services, I can talk to them on grandparenting, on parenting, on other things. Like we can just take benefit of their experiences. Just listen to them. Old people, just give them a chance to talk and listen to them. Just not just maintaining, but ensuring their participation. Otherwise, my legacy will fail. I'll not be able to continue the hikmat of the past through my present. I'm living in the present to my future generations. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك اللهم لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت. اللهم ادخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. اللهم اخرجنا من ظلمات الجهل والوهم إلى نور العلم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. Oh Allah, spread your mercy upon us, shower us with your blessings, increase our knowledge, grant us forgiveness, and reward us with the company of the prophets in the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, forgive our parents and all our friends and relatives who have passed away. Oh Allah, make their grave the garden from heaven and grant them the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, we have many of our friends and relatives who are sick. We have our son Ma'araj, our daughter Ashawani, and many others. Oh Allah, grant to all of them full and speedy recovery. Oh Allah, guide our children, protect them, and make them righteous. Oh Allah, grant us the power and the ability that we may be grateful for the favor that you have bestowed upon us and our parents, and that we may do righteous that are pleasing to you. Oh Allah, we ask you in every name you have elected yourself, that none of us leave this gathering, but his pains have been relieved, his worries have been removed, his debts have been paid, his weaknesses have been concealed, his sins have been removed, and his needs have been fulfilled. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه ومداد كلماته. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.